Welcome back to WYTL TV. In this unit, we're going to investigate accidents in their most basic form. How are they defined? What are the most common types of accidents? What causes accidents? And along the way, we'll be looking at actions you can take as a manager or supervisor to eliminate accidents.
To look at the second part of the definition of an accident, let's go live to our on-the-street reporters Frank Zellinger and Monica Tate.
We're live at the site of this accident where an operator hit a light pole. No one was hurt, but it has created some extra work for people. I'm here with the manager, Ed Stevens. Ed, what can you tell us?
Well, the operator secured the scene and made sure the passengers were safe. Then he notified dispatch, who notified the local emergency response, PD, fire, and medics. And then dispatch notified me and our general manager. When I get back, I'll have to notify our risk department, who may dispatch an on-site adjuster. Then I'll have to call the insurance company. This is going to affect my operating budget.
In this left turn accident, we have major disruptions for a lot of people. The police will need to document everything. EMS is here to make sure no one's hurt. Traffic is stopped, so people are backed up and will be late getting to work.
Before we get into our most common types of accidents, we have an incoming report from Monica Tate. Monica, what's the situation there?
Layla, I'm reporting from the megabus. There's a lot of activity this morning. Passengers are excited to be on their way to Chicago. Some have on their headphones. Some are talking on their cell phone. It's actually a little loud in here. The operator is running a little late, but seems to be in control. I'll keep you posted on any developments.
Accidents. What are they, and where do they happen? Vehicular collisions are probably the most common types of accidents that we have, and it's not uncommon for a driver to clip a mirror, hit a pole, or even drive up over a curb. Now, these are small accidents, but they happen way too often, and they're a nuisance for everyone. Then we have collisions with other vehicles. Now, these are most common at intersections, and we hit cars and trucks from behind, which can be really serious. And finally, our worst accidents are when we hit a pedestrian.
Let's take this conversation over to our manager's roundtable.
What are the most common accidents you have?
I'd have to say backing accidents.
Yeah, that and right and left turns.
If I were to guess, the most common, I'd say hitting fixed objects. And what gets me the most is how often the operator will try to explain it away, like they weren't at fault.
We have a lot of side swipes that happen during lane changes.
I swear my operators hate their mirrors. We must replace 4 or 5 mirrors a month.
Thankfully, it doesn't happen that often, but an expensive claim we've had comes from tipped wheelchairs.
We have an update from Monica Tate.
Layla, there's been an accident. The operator stopped paying attention to traffic in front of him when a passenger started complaining about another passenger, and he had to slam on his brakes. Too late. Police are interviewing the operator and witnesses. That's all I have right now. I'll keep you posted.
On the other side of can do is the area we call will do. On this side, we have values, motivations, and personality. Let's take a closer look. Values are the principles and beliefs developed through contact with your family, your culture, your religion, your ethnicity, your place in the human experience. Values have a strong influence on how you behave, on what you will do. If you value integrity, you'll tell the truth. If you value health and fitness, you'll probably exercise, eat right, and avoid cigarettes. Your employees come to you with their values pretty well defined, and you won't be able to change them. But over time, you might be able to add to them. Think of a business as a mini society with its own microculture. If your culture values safety and looks for ways to eliminate unsafe behavior, then new employees will likely adopt this value to be accepted by your mini society. And that's a good value to instill.
Dr. Silver mentioned that norms can develop quickly because of something important that catches the attention of the culture. Let's go to Frank Zellinger, our on-the-street reporter. Frank, has something important happened there?
That's right, Layla. We've just had a rear-end collision. There were no passengers on the bus, but one of our operators has been injured. Any idea what happened?
Our operator, Glenn, was following too closely, and the driver ahead stopped suddenly for no reason.
And has Glenn been through our training on following distance?
Yes, but obviously we didn't change his acceptance of this unsafe behavior. We didn't change his norm. The result is this accident and his injury.
Our point-counterpoint team has been watching this report develop. Any thoughts on this?
You know that happens to us every day. As soon as you fall back to leave a little extra space, somebody pulls right in front of you.
So why don't you just let them?
Well, personally, I think it's annoying and creates potential for an accident if the car ahead slows suddenly. They'll rear-end them.
Isn't that why you're keeping a 4-second distance in the first place?
Well, yeah, but not if people keep pulling into the gap.
So your approach is to drive closer to prevent other cars from pulling into the gap and possibly having an accident from driving too close yourself.
Well, not exactly. I'm just trying to keep them from cutting me off.
So you're putting your passengers at risk instead of falling back like you should and letting the other cars worry about their own safety?
One of the most powerful ways of setting expectations is by telling your people exactly what you expect. These are called explicit statements. Why make people guess at what you expect from them? Just tell them. The use of explicit statements is effective because it comes from you, speaking as the leader.
Don't forget, we have a safety meeting on Thursday night. I need you there.
Oh, I didn't realize I needed to come to that. I thought that was just for new drivers. Gosh, I kind of have another commitment. Do you really need me there?
Yeah, everyone needs to be there. It shows our commitment to each other to grow a culture of safe behavior. We need everyone to be on the same team. We're setting a tone and need you to be there.
Okay, Val, I understand. I'll cancel my other thing I had going on that night.
Explicit statements are also very effective when establishing specific expectations for driving. Let's take a look.
We got another call. They saw you rolling through a stop sign. I don't get it. You get paid by the hour, you were taught defensive driving, and you know all about risk. Why would you do this?
Well, I told you I was running late. I was just trying to get back on schedule.
Sometimes you're going to be running late. It's a fact of life. We have heavy schedules, a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of other things outside of your control. But safety is not one of them. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times. When late, stay late.
Yeah, you say that, but yesterday, when this whole thing was going down, the only thought in my head was this one lady that was on my bus last week. She was the crabbiest passenger I've ever had. She couldn't stop complaining. I knew if I got to Cleveland 1 minute late, I'd have to listen to her the entire ride.
So you expected an unpleasant experience if you were late, and that's what prompted you to run the stop sign?
Now, here are 2 examples of feedback that doesn't tell the person anything helpful. Take a look at this.
Good job.
Hey, you need to do a better job in the morning.
Wow, that's not specific. This operator has no idea what he's supposed to do differently. When you're specific, the person can correct their behavior.
Hey, Kevin, I saw you on the road yesterday. That was a good job going around the block instead of having to back your bus up.
No, thanks, Bob. Look, I try to plan my route so I don't have to back at all.
That's good. If you never back, you'll never have a backing accident. Keep it up.
Hey, Angie, I know we spoke before about doing your pre-trip. I saw you didn't do it again this morning.
Sorry, Val.
What if something was wrong with your bus and you didn't catch it? You can't pencil whip the pre-trip.
You're an operator. You're running 10 minutes late. You're stuck in traffic, and your lane hasn't moved in a while. You notice the left lane is moving along pretty well. It would be a risk to get over because the traffic in the next lane is moving pretty fast. But if you get over, you'd be on your way. What would you do? Here's what some operators said they'd do.
I'd stay in my lane. It'd be too dangerous to pull out into traffic from a dead stop.
I turn on my turn signal, wait for an opening, and then I go for it. I just signal and pull out. People have to move for the bus. Sure, I get the stink eye or the salute from time to time, but hey, that's tough. I'm bigger than they are.
Were any of these answers the same as yours? Maybe one of them was close to the way you'd act, but chances are each person will have a slightly different answer.